Well, isn't this a delight? I have been looking forward to this all day. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel, and welcome to the match preview of Burnley against Liverpool. Another huge game for the Reds as they look to get into the top four. And as you can see, I have been joined by the lovely Yanks of the Kop. We have Steve, we have Wahome, and of course we have Sophie as well. How are we doing?
Doing very well.
Fantastic. Always good to see your face live, Doug.
Oh, pleasure. Chris Russell says, evening, hope you're all right and not drunk.
Oh, I wonder who that's about.
And the Mighty Reds television, come on, get on with it. Well, we're here now. We are here now. But I mean, let's just start from obviously yesterday. The game against West Brom. I mean, Alisson Becker, you beautiful human being. Have you recovered, Sophie, from that goal? Because I don't think I have yet.
I don't think it's sunk in yet.
No.
Do you know what? Part of me wishes I'd been on our lives, like our watch along when it happened, because the scenes in my house, like limbs went everywhere. And I woke up this morning, and you know when you wake up like utter disbelief that something's just happened, and I was like, that really happened last night, or did I dream it? And I actually went and checked Twitter to see that Alisson had actually scored that goal, and then proceeded to watch it about 45,000 more times throughout the day. And I still don't think it's sunk in for me yet, so I'm waiting for it to be real life.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was on my fiance's watching it, and like I had to basically rewind back because I actually couldn't believe what had actually happened. But yeah, like the commentary, like, look, we all give Martin Tyler an absolute, rollicking about his commentary, but it was just the build up to it. It was just the build up to the actual goal. But what I will say, it was absolutely amazing. And Steve, for all the bad stuff that's gone off the pitch with Alisson, it couldn't have happened to a nicer person to score that winner yesterday.
Oh my God, right? Just scenes. Like, not only was it, just pure magic having a goalie score a header to win it with no time left, but could not have happened to a better person. I mean, you saw Neuer's comments, on Instagram and everything. Like, everyone knew, and you see the entire team's reaction. I'm sure, obviously, it was huge for the 3 points, but just for Alisson, I mean, his post-match press conference was an absolute beauty. This couldn't happen to a better guy, and especially, I think he was 100% right. His father was there. His father may have even helped, get him that perfect header there, but he's gotten a lot of criticism from fans this year, seeing having his dad pass away, and just to cap it off with that was just magic. Again, like, not only just the fact that it was the goal, but just the storyline behind it.
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful. Like, I'm literally getting pins and needles right now again thinking about it. That's why we love the game. That's why we love the game.
I've never heard of that expression. I'm getting pins and needles thinking about it.
just gave that for our sarcasm off, or what is it? The slang off we're going to have in the off season.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, Wahome, the actual interview that Alisson gave, I have to say, was one of the best interviews I think I've seen from a Liverpool goalkeeper. Yeah,
you could see how much emotion it was. And how much it meant to him, and obviously everything that happened with his dad. And, it's just him having his third child recently as well. Like how much it meant to him to, to dedicate that goal to his dad as well. And also the fact that, he like any other player, he's desperate for us to be in the Champions League again and back in there, be back to where we are. I think even his wife apparently gave a good interview as well. That she really said some really nice words about Alisson in terms of what kind of a man he is. So yeah, I just think it was fitting for him to, be the one to, be the first Liverpool goalkeeper ever to score a header, score a goal, and for it to be like that kind of bullet header was just, just amazing. So I made up for him, and I think, you know, it was it's fitting because I think I said it on a different podcast that that goal's iconic. It's going to be actually, Chris, I was looking for a different stream, so my stream broke. That's why that first time I wasn't celebrating, because my stream broke and I was behind Andrew and Stephen when the goal went in. I celebrated afterwards. Yeah, so no, it's going to be like iconic goal, just like when Origi scored that goal, or when Bobby scored that volley against Stoke back in 2015-16. It's, you know, it's one of those goals that everyone's going to remember. So what I'm saying for now is that we have to now follow that up with 2 wins. Otherwise, it makes Alisson's header pointless. So, but I'm just happy for him after the season he's had and everything that's happened to him, that he got that goal, and, you know, like he's back in the limelight for, you know, because he had a rough patch where he was obviously not his best, and that's back in line now, as everyone has clearly seen that, you know, he's the best goalkeeper in the Premiership.
You're the new Wijnaldum, apparently.
He did celebrate though. That's
I will not tolerate Genie Fonza. Like, I will take my portable.
He did celebrate though. He ran over and joined in when they were hugging us. I don't understand what people just showing one still. We didn't celebrate.
No,
we walked over.
No, Wahome, to be fair, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Like, the 1892 podcast better not fucking clip this. There's when Alisson first scores it, there's another goal view where Genie's back here and everybody else like runs towards him, and he just kind of walks to the side. He just doesn't join in, he doesn't run, he doesn't celebrate, he just kind of goes and carries on walking, and then it takes him a good few minutes to go over and celebrate, and it does stand out like a sore thumb. I'm not gonna lie, it does look really suspect. It doesn't look the greatest when he doesn't run over with the team, because it should be an instant reaction. And as much as I adore Genie, even that didn't sit right with me. Like, you should have been over there, like, especially with it being Alisson. You should have been over there 100% within seconds, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you know, we got the win, and now, you know, it's put us it's still in our hands. Like, I hate this term. It's still in our hands, but Sophie, it is still in our hands. But how are you looking at the Burnley game? How do you think we will approach this game?
I think we're going to approach the Burnley game in a similar way to the way we've just approached West Brom. We know that they play very similar style of football. They play very low blocks. They're going to try and hit us on the counter. They're going to try and hit us on set pieces, because obviously we don't have that aerial threat at the minute. Well, say that we've got Alisson, but you know, you can't take it. I think we're going to kind of play the same. We're going to attack the game the same way that we played this one. I think we just need to have a bit more of that control. You know, we were able to cut through them through West Brom. I think the same is going to happen to Burnley. We're going to have all the possession. We're going to be able to cut right through them. But it's whether, that is true, Alan. That was amazing. But it's whether we're going to be able to capitalise on it again. And like, let's not, you know, call a spade a spade. We got lucky. We got very, very lucky.
Yeah, we did.
We can't ride our luck again. And if we play exactly the same as we against Burnley, we don't really like playing with Burnley. We don't really like Burnley. Nobody likes Burnley. So I think we're going to play very similar. But I'd like to see a little bit more, you know, something about it. A bit more energy towards it.
Yeah, absolutely. Seamus Moore has just said this. Play Alisson up front, will be fine. But Steve, Burnley are on the back of a 4-0 drubbing to Leeds United. Were you surprised at how they managed to lose 4-0? Because they don't usually get beat heavily at home.
Yeah, I mean, they don't usually get beat heavily at home, and they rarely get heavily beat at all. They're a very good defensive team. I can't stand Dyche as a manager. I mean, he's very good for them, don't get me wrong, but I like Sophie said, I can't stand Burnley. Like, Burnley's one of my least favorite teams. They're so chippy, and when they're chippy to an opposing team, you know, Dyche is all just saying, "Oh, that's physicality of the game," blah blah blah. When someone's chippy back to them, he gets all moany and complaining. And Burnley is a very tough draw, in my opinion. I think this is the last this is the last hurdle for us. I just don't see us losing at home to Crystal Palace with fans in the stands. But Burnley, we saw what they did to us earlier in the season. But yeah, I think losing 4-0 to Leeds at home, that's going to be, if anything, they're going to come out even harder against us now. And they're really just a better version of West Brom, in my opinion. We've had the troubles against the low block all season, except they have a striker in Chris Wood, who's who's better than anyone else that West Brom has. So if he gets the same opportunities that West Brom had last game, they'll punish us. So I'm a little bit nervous about this game. And you saw our bench with the injuries. We're pretty much going to have to go with the same exact team unless you sub in Wijnaldum for Curtis Jones. But then again, you see Wijnaldum's attitude at the end of the game. It's not going to be an easy one. I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wahome, we can obviously look at some of their danger men for sure. Dwight McNeil is a danger man. Chris Wood's the obvious one, but you've got Tarkowski, you've got Ben Mee, from set pieces. How are you looking to approach this Burnley game?
Yes, so I was looking at some of the stats, Burnley stats, and they are number 1 in the Premiership for 25.5% in terms of winning area duels, defensively or offensively, and they're 13th in the Premiership for set piece goals. So they are threat pieces. I think I tweeted before just came on that fact that we're gonna have to defend well because Burnley are gonna play rugby football. They're gonna be pumping balls in the box, getting crosses, making it scrappy, making it dirty, making it really stop and start in the game, and they're gonna be trying every little trick in the book to make it as difficult as possible for us. So we have to be aware of that, and especially the back four need to be wary of balls in the box. Phillips is fine. Well, my concern is more Reece Williams, that he's going to be targeted for physicality. So we need to protect him properly, and I think Alisson's going to be crucial in this game in terms of catching, punching, and also he needs to be instructing them. When it's my ball, I'm coming to catch it and stuff, or and also just making sure that the fullbacks are going to have a key role as well. Trent and Robertson are going to have to make sure that there's no crosses in the box. That they're going to have to cut out crosses.
Yeah.
And that's how you stop it. If you stop the crosses, then you've stopped one Arsenal. I mean, the good thing about us is we scored more set pieces goals than Burnley have this season. So, we're a threat, obviously, from set. Obviously, probably, not as much without Van Dijk and stuff like that there, but we're still a threat. So I think for us, the key thing for us is we have to get an early goal. We have to be the one that scores because, we have to look at the West Brom game and say West Brom had chances, especially in the second half where they went through 1-on-1 and they should have buried at least one of the two of the chances they had. So we can't afford that with Burnley. I think Burnley are a better defensive outfit than West Brom. So, and they will happily play for a 0-0 draw. We saw that earlier on the season, how they defended against us. So we're going to need an early goal for us. To be the one that scores first, to break up the any game plan, especially when they have fans in the stands. So, if they get an early goal with the fans, although you might assume them to be on holiday mode, I think that would really help them if they got an early goal. So I think we have to collectively as a team defend better and make sure that we are clinical.
It'll also be.
Sorry, I'm just going to go off quickly. I actually, surprise. I disagree with a homie because you've just this hasn't happened for a very long time. But I just want to go off the point you made there about we need an early goal. Now we always say we need an early goal. We need an early goal. But look at our record the last couple of games. When we got the early goal, we've conceded in the last 10 minutes of the game. When we conceded an early goal, we've come back and won it. We conceded in 10 minutes to United. We conceded within 15 minutes to West Brom. And we've won both those games. So I don't know whether getting an early goal is going to be too much of a comfort blanket for us. Don't get me wrong. If we get an early goal and we go on to win it, I'm happy with that. But if we get an early goal and then we sit back and rest on our laurels and say, well, if we just sit back now, Burnley aren't going to get through us. And then last minute they get a set piece and they take away a point from it. We drop 2 points and they get a point with it. That's going to irritate me more than if we concede an early goal and then go on, because then we've got something to fight for. And I think the mentality that I've got, and I'm not sure whether this would be the right mentality, but we've got to win every game. We've got to go in and win. And for me, if I get an early goal, I'm going to be going, oh, well, happy days. I just need to kind of keep hold of this now. But if I'm already down, my competitiveness is going to come on. I'm going to go, nah, I need to fight for this tooth and nail. So you're going to want to go for it a little bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, so, I would agree. I would agree with that. Steve, Nick Pope usually has a worldie against us, but yesterday Burnley played Bailey Peacock Farrell, which is very, very interesting. So obviously, if they do play Bailey Peacock Farrell, we know that he's very, very suspect. As we have obviously said, every goalkeeper seems to have a worldie against us anyway. But if it's Nick Pope, are you a bit worried?
Yeah, I 100% am. I mean, like you said, it feels like every time we face a goalkeeper, no matter who it is, they put in their best performance of the season. Nick Pope, even last time we played them, stood on his head, and then next game just made a huge mistake against City to cost them the game, which again just sums up our season in a nutshell. But yeah, I think Nick Pope is, in my opinion, probably the best England goalkeeper. I think he's up there. And I think the biggest issue with having a goalkeeper like Nick Pope to go against on the road is the fact that we haven't been clinical all season. I mean, think about even this last game with West Brom. Mane misses the net from about 10 yards out. Firmino hits the post when he had a really good look. Junior Wijnaldum missed, skied it over the net. Trent had 2 wide open left foot shots, skied them both over the net. If it's not Salah who's scoring, it's or Alisson with a header, it's going to be very difficult for us. But yeah, that's another huge thing. Like, are we going to be able to create enough chances? Because it's going to take us 6, 7, 8 chances to get one by Nick Pope for sure. It's going to be a storyline.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I mean, Burnley, look, they haven't had a recent good record against us, but that is one thing you can say. But last season, I can take confidence from last season because we did go there and we played them off the park actually, which was very, very surprising. On the Burnley side, you don't usually play them off the park. So obviously going into the game next year, I have seen the Keita comments. Yes, I believe that he is not going to be available for this game. So
shocking.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I heard Crystal Palace and Leicester are after him. So hopefully we can move him on this summer.
Take him.
Yep.
Listen, I will never criticize his ability on the field. I will always criticize his availability to get on the field. He's never been healthy since he's got here. We even tried to design a special training regiment for him so you wouldn't get injured. Oh, and guess what happens? He got hurt again. So whether you want to blame our physios, but these new physios, they don't come in until the summer. So what's the excuse for the prior couple seasons? So I just don't I'll never again. He's a great player. He's good when he's available, but availability is the best ability, and he's never available. So what's the point? What's the point of having him?
Yeah, Ballum's asked a very good question, Wahome. Do you think Shaqiri will play against Burnley, and is this from the start or the bench?
I wouldn't start him. He was shocking against West Brom. What's the point? Shaq looks like he's on holiday mode already. And I think obviously it doesn't help with Shaq the fact he's hardly played, but when he has played a lot of time this season, he doesn't look interested. It's not like last year where he was making good cameos off the bench and having an impact. This year he's not looked interested. So I wouldn't play Shaq at all. And I'm actually loath to even bring him off the bench because I thought he offered nothing against West Brom, to be honest. So no, I think Klopp's going to more or less go with the same team he had against West Brom, purely because there's no other option, but because you can't trust the other ones. You can't trust, the only one maybe I think Milner's back, so he might throw Milner in, but
yeah,
that's it. You can't trust Shaq or Origi or any of those in this game because they don't do nothing when they do come on. So no, I wouldn't have Shaq in the starting lineup.
Very interesting. Balance asked, where are you from in the US, Steve?
So usually I'm from Boston. I live up in Boston, but right now I'm down in Florida. So that's why you see this nice background. It's nice and warm, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that translates to Celsius.
I saw that coming. I could just see that coming when you were talking about 80 degrees
She's just mad that
Fahrenheit.
she has control over our shush button. She's just mad about
It
that.
was my idea.
I think you're the only one who's been shushed so far.
I am. That's why I had to make my own damn sign.
Diego, see Palace evening. My Palace are in good spirit and in good form. Also, our last game will be a send-off for Roy. Yeah, I believe Roy Hodgson's leaving at the end of the season. Shaqiri's probably one of the few players we have to bring on. When it was 1-1, he didn't bring on Origi. He brought on Gini, I think, for third sub. Boston, a Red Sox fan. Are you a Red Sox fan, Steve?
I don't really watch baseball that much, but yeah, I do. I mean, I support all the Boston teams, but FSG just pisses me off, though. So
yeah,
we won't dive down that rabbit hole right now because I can talk all day about FSG with the Red Sox or Liverpool. So
yeah, look, it's going to be a very, very interesting game, but we obviously do know that it will determine the result of Tuesday's game between Chelsea and Leicester. Now, I'm going to ask you all this. Sophie, what would be the best result for us tomorrow?
Ooh. Can you come back? Can we cycle around? Can we come back?
Yeah. All right.
I have no idea, honestly.
I'll probably go for.
See, this is the issue, isn't it?
Leicester. Purely because I think Chelsea will beat Villa, so I'd probably go for Leicester win. I think Spurs will give. Because it could be Harry Kane's probably last game at Spurs, so they'll be up for it for that.
Yeah.
Sending off. So I think I'd rather Leicester because I think Chelsea. I'd love to see Chelsea not get top four. I think we can overtake Chelsea, so I'd rather Leicester win. But even still, I don't think a draw is the worst result. They draw that game. Worst result for us either. So
no, absolutely not.
I don't know because when you look, there's so many different variables of which way that game can go, and either way, it benefits us whichever way it goes. But we are still reliant on them dropping another point somewhere else. Like I said before we came live, like if Leicester lose and we end up, they've got more points, but if we got close enough and they drop points, then we beat them on goal difference as it stands. Chelsea were closer in points too, so it's easier to overtake them. But they've got a better goal difference than us, and sometimes that's what it can come down to. So if Chelsea lose and Leicester win, and we win our game in hand, we are level points, but we are still fifth because of goal difference. If they then win the rest of their games and we win the rest of our games, it comes down to goal difference, and that's the fine line of it. And
one goal difference more than us, Chelsea, though.
But it doesn't matter because they can score 4 goals in a game, and we can concede 2, and then the goal difference becomes 3.
I think Chelsea are crumbling from the pressure. We just saw them against Leicester.
I don't think they are. I think Chelsea have just gone through a blip because they've got into the Champions League final. They weren't really bothered about the FA Cup. I think they've got bigger fish to fry.
They never turned up in the FA Cup. Look, congratulations to Leicester, and obviously congratulations to Brendan Rodgers. I think Brendan Rodgers was unlucky to lose his job, but obviously that was good because we got Klopp. But congratulations to Rodgers, and what a goal to win the game anyway. It was absolute peace. Steve, what do you think? What result would you want from Leicester Chelsea?
So I mean, I'm not thinking about what's best for Liverpool. I'm just thinking about I despise Chelsea, so I want Chelsea to lose. I have I can't stand Chelsea fans. I can't stand for the majority of Chelsea fans. I've met a couple cool ones, but for the most part, oh my god, just absolutely delusional. And I would just love to see us finish ahead of them, despite all of our injuries, despite everything, despite all the money they spent this offseason, for us to finish ahead of them, finish top 4. But then the question is, like, who do I root for in the Champions League final? That's like, can they just draw and do never-ending penalties or something? But yeah, for me, I think also, like, if Chelsea lose or draw and then we beat Burnley, like, again, you know, that's the easiest point of entry for us, because then we'll have the point advantage against Chelsea, not just have to rely on goal differential. So I think that's what makes the most sense. The Chelsea loss.
So the table as it stands, I think we're on 63 in 5th, Chelsea are on 64, and Leicester on 66. So if we beat Burnley, we're on 66. If Leicester beat Chelsea, they're on 69. Chelsea would be on 64. They would only be able to get 67, whereas we would get 69. So in that aspect, I would want Leicester to beat Chelsea, because then I think we would knock them off top 4.
I agree. And the other thing too that no one's talking about, and I'm being very optimistic here, is we still have an outshot chance at 3rd. Because
that's mental. That is mental.
That Leicester Tottenham match is not going to be easy. So let's just say Leicester and Chelsea tie and we win. You know, Leicester would only be 1 point ahead of us, and if they draw or lose and then we win, we jump into 3rd. We could finish 3rd place.
How amazing would that be, though? In our worst season for a very long time, not only was it like, oh, Liverpool are reigning champions, have not been able to hold their Premier League title. They've not been able to do anything. They're going to get Europa. For us to get 3rd behind Man City, the underdogs of the season, with the best Premier League win possible, and Man United, who are on their best season performance in a long time, Leicester and Chelsea, who are having their best seasons for a long time, and we still pick them to 3rd. Like, that would just be bittersweet. Even at our worst, we are better than them. I would never let that go. Never.
And there's one key stat I like to talk about too, with Liverpool finishing top 4. Since the year Fergie retired, only one team has won the Premier League and then finished top 4 the following season. That's City. No one else has done it since Sir Alex Ferguson left. So the fact that we could do that with all of our injuries would be absolutely unbelievable, and it would be absolutely massive for our summer window as well. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, cross your fingers, guys. Cross your fingers.
Cross everything.
That is talent.
Absolutely, but yeah, it's within our grasp. It's within our grasp, but I absolutely hate the saying it's in our own hands. Absolutely hate it. But yeah, to pip them to 3rd would be incredible, considering the amount of injuries that we've had this season and the bad form that we have had as well. And as Sophie says, Chelsea having the best season, Leicester having the best season, Manchester United are 2nd. You know, it's going to be very, very strange. But let's not focus on the Leicester Chelsea. Let's focus on us. Sophie, what's your starting 11 for Wednesday?
Same back 4 as last game. I'm going to go for Gini, Thiago, and Fabinho. Possibly Milner instead of Gini, if Milner's ready and fit. I think we need a captain, and I've said that a lot. We need a captain. And then normal front 3, because Jota's out injured. Kabak's out injured again. The only change you can make really is that midfield. So for me, I'd put Gini on for Jones, or if Milner's fit, put Milner on.
Steve?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the same exact team. And then if it won't be Curtis Jones, it's Milner if he's healthy, and if it's not Milner, it'll be Gini.
Wahome?
Yeah, same. I think Milner will start. I don't think Gini will start this game. And otherwise, the same team. You know, obviously, before that game starts, I'd give Mane a talking to.
I love Chris Welch, man. Chris Welch always drops it.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic. He really is. He makes me laugh. He makes me laugh. So,
Mr. Consistency, I love it.
Ballum said Alisson, the goal scorer of the match winner. Trent, Reece, Phillips, Robertson, Milner, Fab, and Thiago, the front three. Yeah, absolutely. I would not put Divock Origi in over the front three. Anyway, good news. I think they win in extra time. Palace under 21s 1-3. Oh, very, very good, Diego. Very good. But yeah, I mean, right. If we talk about blooming like Trent Alexander-Arnold, then obviously don't, because obviously I know people will probably have seen the news today that, you know, Gareth Southgate looks like he's not going to pick Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yeah, I am as well.
Couldn't care less. Don't give a toss about England team. Don't give a toss about the Euros. When Virgil turned around and said he wasn't going to Euros, we all celebrated it and made up because he's putting himself first. If Gareth Southgate wants to be that stupid and that blindsided and put his own personal... Because at this point, I'm starting to think it's a personal grudge. His own personal issues.
Well, I've been told that I'm selfish. Selfish.
If he's going to put his own personal opinions above the success of his team by putting the better right back out, because whenever he's come to watch him, what's the point in watching if you're not going to put him in when he's having stellar, he's dropping 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 performances. But if Southgate wants to be that stupid, he can take his waistcoat and sod off backwards like I'm not arsed. I'll keep Trent nice and fit and healthy, and we'll take him back for next season. I'm not bothered.
The other side of that is Trent's personal thing of wanting to play for England, and that people said how it could dent his confidence not playing for England.
It's not going to dent his confidence. It's going to make him fight, because Trent is not the type of player to sit there and go, "Oh, I'm not in the England squad," and sulk about it. He's going to be like, "Right, okay, what do I need to do better?"
Just smash the league up. Just smash the league up next season.
Yeah. Well, let's think about it. When Trent first joined us and he got absolutely turned inside out in the washing machine by Rashford, he got destroyed for it. He didn't sit there and go, "Oh," and let it dent his confidence. He went back and he fought and he fought and he fought and he chipped away at it. And he'll do the same with the England cap. Like, he knows he's been in the squad. He knows he'll get back into it. I think Southgate is just being, for arguably want of a better word, an absolute hillock about it.
I was wondering what you were going to say there.
I have to think about what I was going to say then, because this is not my channel, so I can't.
Save it for our channel. Save it for our channel.
I save all these for our channel.
The thing with Southgate, though, he's getting too cute, man. He's just getting too cute. Like, if you, I don't care what you think. Like, there is no way that Kieran Trippier should be on that team over Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's an absolute joke if you look at it that way. But honestly, I agree with Sophie, though, in terms of if he doesn't make the team, he's gonna perform better. I mean, look at what he's done this year when he didn't get called up the last go around. He's been the Trent of old. He's been unbelievable for us pretty much since he got denied by Southgate in the first place. He's been one of our best players over the last 4, 5, 6 games. So, and we're top of the table in the last 8 games when you look at it that way. And I think 100% goes to Trent. So, yeah, honestly, for us, that'd be great news. That'd be just another player not going. I would feel for Trent 100%, but he knows that he'll be back. And just for us, it's knowing that, hey, we're going to have another guy guaranteed to be healthy going into the offseason.
This is a very, very good question from Ballum. If Milner doesn't start and Gini doesn't play, should Firmino or Andrew Robertson be captain? I'm going to say this now, Robertson for me. I think he's more of a leader than Firmino.
But Salah would be the next one in line to get it. So the question, as good a question as it is to play devil's advocate, it's completely redundant, because we all know that Salah's going to get the captaincy for that game. If that happens, it's Salah's going to get the armbands. However, I do agree that it should be Robbo. He's a captain. He's a national captain.
Firmino West Brom, though. Salah's playing.
What?
Well, we had it for captaincy against West Brom, though, and Salah played. So it's not guaranteed Salah's going to get it. So I don't think it's guaranteed to get it. Bobby had it Saturday.
Has Robbo ever been made captain for us?
No.
But I agree with Doug, though. Like, I think he has more leadership qualities than anybody else out there. You know, he's always vocal. You know, he's physical. You know, I do think it's hard to have an outside back as captain, but I mean, he does it for Scotland, does it well. So I think, I think 100%. I think it should be Robbo, but I mean, hey, it worked out with Bobby against West Brom. So,
Chris, I have my opinions.
I as well would take it away from Ginny. I wouldn't give it to Ginny. I'd give it to one of the other players. He's not captain. Hey, he's not captain.
Slander my Genie.
Had my opinions on Southgate. He's a person who we picked up from the streets, has no clue about football. If that's the case, then my 1-year-old niece should be manager. She's better than manager than that moron. Gareth Southgate, OBE, one of the best jokes out there. There's a comedy joke. Really? I didn't actually realise he was an OBE. My goodness me. That is shocking. But yeah, look, I mean, I'm just going to say that I think Robertson should be captain because he is Scotland captain, and he's got a bit of fire in his belly as well. So you'll be able to get under players' noses. Like you imagine on Wednesday, Burnley Liverpool, Robbo is captain. He will get under the nose of Sean Dyche. He will get under the nose of Dwight McNeil. I just think it's a good idea to play Robbo as captain. But there we go. Klopp is the manager. It's the waistcoat that did it. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Plus, I don't buy this thing that fullbacks can't be captains. We've seen some amazing captains. Maldini was captain at left back. Coffey was captain. So we've seen some world class players being captain and doing outstanding jobs. So I don't buy you can't be fullback as captain.
Trent's been captain, isn't he?
I just think it's more difficult. I don't think it's not possible. I think you have to be a true leader, which I think Robbo is. I don't think right now, like we've seen Trent wear the captain's band a few times. I don't think he's ready for that. Like you can say it's his age and everything, but I also think it's due to the position as well. Like naturally, center backs have to be more vocal because they can see more of the field. But Robertson, I think just like he is just the vocal guy. Like he plays with emotion. He plays with some anger and a little chip on his shoulder. And I think that's what makes him a good captain. And I think Maldini had that same thing too. I don't think Trent has that yet.
No, he hasn't got it.
And he's,
I'm just saying,
yeah. Carry on.
No. I'm not saying Trent has it. I'm just saying that fullbacks can have it if they're vocal and stuff. And Trent's not a leader yet.
I just find that really bizarre because you forget that we're talking about fullbacks aren't often captains, but like you just said, we've seen Trent be given the armband a few times now, and it's nice seeing him get it. Like it's a glimpse of what will be. But then you also it makes you realise why hasn't Robbo ever been picked? If we know he's a captain for Scotland and he does it really well, what is going on? There must be a reason. And I know it's easy for fans to sit here and say, "Oh well, he plays for Scotland as a captain. Why shouldn't he be?" But we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. And I'm just going to play devil's advocate because I do think he should be given the armband if that's the case. But you don't know how Robbo would manage this Liverpool team. Very different Scotland team, very different running your national team. Being the captain for your national team, you've got a sense of, camaraderie. You're all from the same place. When you've got a team of lots of different nationalities and lots of different languages and language barriers, you have to be very concise and very clear. And I don't mean this in the most disrespectful way, but Robbo's Scottish, right? It's a thick accent, and when you've got Bobby Firmino who barely speaks English still, I don't know whether maybe that's a reason or I don't know. But there's got to be something going on, hasn't there, for him to not be chosen as captain at this point?
I absolutely agree with you. And, Curtis Jones was captain last season against Shrewsbury in the FA Cup, the one where we won 1-0 with a team of, 18 and 19-year-olds. I remember that game at Anfield. It was a very, very youthful team that day. But, yeah, Curtis Jones was captain, if I remember. I think it was a Neco Williams assist for Roshan Williams to get the OG. If I remember that. Now, score predictions. Now, my lovely friend to my right got the prediction right for West Brom. So, Sophie, can you make it 2 out of 2? What is your prediction?
Oh, I see. Now you're putting pressure on me. I got to stop pointing at me. Stop putting at me. I am going to go 3-0.
Ooh.
I'm going to go for it and say 3-0 win. I just can't see the boys with this much confidence behind them. Man United game, then Alisson's wonder goal. Their confidence is going to be sky high right now. This is probably the best time for us to play Burnley and the best time for us to fight. And we're all right normally against Burnley, you know. And I feel like we can proper get under the skin of them. Pre-COVID, other ones before.
Sorry, Chris Welch just gets me every time, man.
Diego's just 3-0. I like that. Diego has just subscribed to the Yanks of the Kop, so you've got another subscriber there.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yeah, DC's amazing, man. DC's great. New York's dirty and gross, but DC's a lot of fun.
New York,
right. Steve, what is your prediction?
I love Sophie's enthusiasm and belief. 3-0. I just don't know where the goals are going to come from to get 3, especially with Tarkowski in the back. He's class in my opinion. Nick Pope in there. We've already talked about him, and just the lack of clinicalness that we have. We're still waiting. Chris Welch will agree with me on this. Still waiting for Sadio Mane to pull his head out and start performing back to what we used to see. So I think it's going to be another nail biter. I think it's going to be 2-1 again. I see Chris Wood getting a goal. I think Mo Salah gets a brace. 2-1 Liverpool.
Wahome?
Yeah, I think Sophie's been optimistic. So
no, Sophie's being positive for once. Shut up.
Optimistic. I just think being realistic. Burnley are a much better team than West Brom, and the chance that West Brom had, if Burnley have those, they take them. Simple as that. And we have to remember as well the fact that the same kind of the way we could see that first goal is very much likely to happen again, kind of replica. Because again, we have to remember that's going to be Reece Williams and Phillips, probably third game they play together. It's still a new partnership. There's still obviously there's no leadership across the back four in terms of, even though that's where I would probably doubt Rob being given captaincy actually, because he doesn't offer any leadership back there. There's no leadership across the back four, and obviously Alisson's not communicating either as well to that back four of when to push up, when to drop off deep. So I think Burnley will score because just the national nature of the beast of how they're good at set pieces. So I went for a 2-1 prediction. I'm going to stick with that. I think it'll be 2-1. But it's going to be one of those cagey, nerve-wracking games again where we're on the knife edge and we miss chances. I just don't see why all of a sudden Mane and Bobby are going to start scoring loads of goals on the weekend.
I just think in all the times we've played Burnley, every time we've come head-to-head with them, we've won 56 of the games, and we've lost 38 and drawn 29. So statistically, it's on our side. And don't forget, this is historically. So this goes back right the way to 1894. This goes right the way back in all the times we've played them. Yeah. And I just think we had a lot worse teams than what we've got now. I've said it before, we are spoiled with the players we've got when they're not injured. We've got a very high quality, a very high caliber of team. This team's not the worst there is, though. There are worse teams in the Premier League. It's just horrendous to us because it's not what we're used to. It's not our, the ceiling that we expect it to be. But our record at Burnley speaks for itself, really.
Yeah.
I think we're just panicking a bit more mainly because it's so important at this point of the season, whereas normally a game against Burnley is neither here nor there. I think it's just on the knife's edge that we're putting a little bit more stock in it.
I agree with you, Soph, but I think that great record was when we had Van Dijk, Gomez, and Massic playing, and
that record is forever in the history.
True, yeah. I meant the recent record where we won the last year before that. We've been able to deal with Burnley's set pieces and crosses and all that kind of stuff easily because of those players. But I think on the weekend, they're going to target Reece Williams, 100%, and that's going to be aiming for. It's going to get crosses down his side of the box, and target him. So that's the concern.
The other thing we have to watch is Westwood's corners. Do you remember the game at Anfield a couple of years ago where he put in a in-swinger corner and they had like a man on Alisson? We have to be careful of that again. So that's my main concern. But my prediction, I'm going to go with Steve and Wahome. I think it'll be 2-1. I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. 2-1 FC is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
2-1 FC is back. But obviously, I don't think we predicted 4-2 against United. But yeah, I was a bit over optimistic last week when I said 4-1. For to be fair, it should have been 4-1. The amount of chances we missed, but yeah, I think Chris Wood will probably score. I think he's bound to score for sure. And for us, Mo Salah is in the race for the Golden Boot, so it has to be Salah. Has to be Salah for me, because I think they're tied now on 22 Premier League goals, him and Kane, as well. So. We shall see what happens. There was a question before we end. There was a question about Harry Kane. I know opinions about Kane. Which club would you rather he goes to? In my opinion, I hope he goes to Spain. I do not want him anywhere near a Chelsea, a City, or a United. Sophie?
Yeah. I was going to say, I think he'd be ideal for a team like PSG. I think he'd fit in really well there. But Sergio Aguero is already going to Barcelona. So I think that might rule them out.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
They can't afford it. You have to remember as well. Kane's going to cost over 100 million. Levy's not going to sell him with the cheap. He's still got these on his contract.
Yeah, so you could say that again.
Yeah, so he might want to go, but Levy's not going to sell him on the cheap. He doesn't do that. Levy's one of the best negotiators in Europe. So he's going to hold out for the most money he can get. So Kane's going to cost over 100 million. So that rules out a lot of teams. The only teams that probably can afford him are Man United, Chelsea, City, and PSG. I don't think the Spanish clubs can afford him. So you're looking at that, then ideally you want him to go PSG and not a City or a Chelsea.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think he'd go Chelsea because he wouldn't go to Spurs. I don't think he'd screw Chelsea to Spurs over and go Chelsea. They'd be slapping their face.
To be fair, he is one behind Timo Werner, which is mental. Which is absolutely mental.
5 off Richarlison's entire goal contribution since he started the Premier League. That made even funnier by the fact that Richarlison was set a 30-goal target for this season by Ancelotti to revamp Everton. I was like,
6.
Tell me more.
The bum.
Oh, what was the gif? It was this time for the smug face, Jeremy Clarkson. I did like that. I did like that. We shall see. Diego Palace, Kane has 3 still on his contract. Poch will take him at PSG, only club that can afford him. Yes, I would agree. I don't see City paying 150 plus million. Manchester. Well, actually, here's a funny thing. Manchester United, because they've got the Glazers, they will be determined to pay big this summer. So I wouldn't be too surprised if United put a bid in for Kane.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
If they go for Kane, it means Sancho's over for us. I'll take that. They go Kane, we get Sancho.
We're not getting Sancho.
Stop busting my bubble, Sophie. We're
not getting. It's like Mbappe and Riccardo. We are not getting them. We're not getting Haaland.
Who I deal with all the time on the
We're not getting Mbappe. We are not getting them.
Mbappe, no. Haaland, no. Sancho depends.
No, he's 48 million. No. That we've got more pressing concerns than signing a 48 million. No, not when you can get like Marlon or Newhouse. Like, why wouldn't you rather have one of them? That fits Klopp's system more than an out-and-out striker.
Sancho's a winger, though. And you push him in the
Wahome, get
middle.
your Sancho posters down.
But I would take him purely because I think
I'd take him, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'd also take £1 million if it walks through my door now, but it ain't going to happen, is it?
The only reason why I dispute kind of half of it is because it's been reported we are in talks for Sancho's agent and with Dortmund. So there's obviously something there where the club feel that something can be done. There would be talks with the agent and with Dortmund.
Straight swaps. Origi for Sancho. Who says no?
That's not going to work. You can't get Origi for a packet of Watsons.
I'll chuck and get Naby as well. They want Naby too. They can chuck him in as well.
I'm just fucking around.
Definitely not, Diego. Not a chance. Not a chance. Guys, I'm going to end it there. Thank you very, very much to Sophie, Steve, and Wahome from Yanks of the Kop for coming on and collabing with me. I knew I would get it done eventually. But guys, where can we find you on Yanks of the Kop socials?
Yeah, so we're on everything. We're on YouTube. If you want to see the video, then anything that you can get a podcast on, Apple Podcast, Spotify, anything there where you can get the virtual stuff on that, voice stuff on that. And then Twitter at Yanks of the Kop, LFC Wahome at Sophie __. And then Instagram as well, Yanks of the Kop there. Appreciate you. We always love working with you. We can't wait to do this again.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah. Absolute pleasure. I've been wanting to get this done before the end of the season and I managed to get it done. So I'm really, really happy. But yeah, guys, please go and follow Yanks of the Kop on all their socials. Go and subscribe to their channel. Closing in on 500 now. I think you're very, very close now.
140 away, something like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, there we go. There we go. Seamus Moore, sub to the Yanks of the Kop. And I think that will be a very good comment. I think a very good comment to leave on. Good night, everyone. Hopefully for a very good result on Wednesday. And see what happens when the Chelsea-Leicester game. Top 4 is in a... Come on, LFC. See you later. You'll never...
Reds, baby.